Hello everyone, this is Matt with Roguish here, and I first would like to say I apologize for us really not making any videos. We really don't have any subscribers if you're watching this by now, so we've just all been very busy, and but I just wanted to go ahead and make a video today showing you guys, really no guides or anything, just what I have in my inventory for weapons. So as you can see, this is what my character looks like in the third person view, just rotating him around. So I have tons of weapons because I have the Lone Wanderer perk. Let me actually show that perk. It's a very useful perk because when you're traveling by yourself, also dog meat doesn't count as a companion when this happens. So when you're traveling by yourself or with dog meat, yeah, you can carry a lot more and take a lot less damage. So which is actually quite useful for when you need to carry a bunch of junk or when you need to carry more weapons than use. So because of this, I have a ton more weapons that I'm using in my inventory. So let me go ahead and show you. This is my entire little wheel here, or my chorus of everything. Everything that I have in my favorites right here. There's all these 12, and pretty much everything you're about to see in here. All this stuff is legendary items. So let me go, but first I'm going to start from the entire list top to down. So we'll talk about this one first, which I've turned this one indigo because of and weighted in indigo because of Nuka World DSC. But this is the 2076 World Series baseball bat, and it says small chance of sending targets flying. You can definitely do a lot more upgrades to this, like adding rockets and stuff, but right now with just weighted in indigo, it's 50 damage, and it does weigh 4.1 pounds, so that's not too heavy. It is a little slower, of course. It is a baseball bat, but it does have that chance of the target flying. Is something that I haven't done it yet, but it's something that would be very entertaining to see. Now, some of these are very, very like random to find. I found this randomly off a raider. The Defiant Powerful Handmade Rifle. The final shot of the magazine, or in the magazine, excuse me, deals twice the normal damage, which is also quite useful, but it depends on how many times you're reloading. So if you are just like continuously reloading, you do get that slight chance of the double damage with the last shot. Now mine is not automatic. This is a just a standard like a semi-automatic receiver that it has, and it's about 83 damage with it. And I would like to. The thing that is not the best about this gun is that this pretty much any of the handmade rifles require like a lot of like if you haven't yet, it requires a lot of like committing to certain perks, the commando perk, the rifleman perk, all that other stuff. The commando perk, which helps with like doing more damage if you have automatic weapons, which is always useful. One day I will turn this automatic, but right now it's semi-automatic because I have all of my rifleman perks maxed out. So as you can see, it's a powerful receiver, long improved barrel, shovel stock, which I will do a marksman stock eventually, a large magazine, reflex sights, no muzzle, and standard color. Now, also the thing is that this ammo is very, very hard to find in Nuka World. I've only been able to find it in Nuka World, and you can only really get it at the marketplace there. And also, it's very expensive. And it also weighs 18.7 pounds, which is a little heavy, but it's there are much heavier weapons. The Deliverer has got to be. If you guys don't know about the Deliverer, also I have multiple mods for this. If you have, this is a bit of a spoiler, of course, I'm sure you guys know this by now, but if you take out the Institute, but you take the young synth Sean with you, you can give him junk and he'll give you mods. So because of that, he gave me a ton of mods for a 10mm pistol, which this is a 10mm pistol. So this is the Deliverer, and it is improved VATS hit chance, 25% less action point cost. When you're in VATS, you could use this thing 18 times in VATS. That's how much action points it doesn't use. It's quite useful, and when you upgrade the damage of it, as you can see, it has 86 damage right now. It is quite helpful for, if you're a much higher level like I am, about 77 right now, and you're just taking on other enemies or you're taking on animals and stuff. and I have a ton of the ammo for it. It has the advanced receiver, extended barrel, sharpshooter's grip. I did need a suppressed weapon, so I went ahead and put the suppressor back on it. But without the suppressor, it's actually kind of cool. Large quick eject mag and glow sights. The next thing I would like to talk about is Hub's Alien Blaster. This is also only found in the Nuka World DLC, and I can definitely tell you that is one of these missions. I have to figure out exactly. This is a Trip to the Stars mission. It's also, let's see, yeah, pretty much Trip to the Stars, and you can figure if you, there's literally an area in Nuka World off to the side, to the little bottom left of the map, where you can start the mission if you want to. And that's how you get this alien rifle. So there's the alien rifle, which, if you guys know how to get that from the Easter egg with the alien, there's that. And then there is this one, which this one I am using in my inventory because it has the legendary effect, which critical shots do double damage, and the critical meter fills 15% faster. Now, of course, the alien blaster rounds are much harder to find, and they're actually really not able to find. You get them once you get, you know, when you find the aliens, you know, the regular alien blaster, it already comes with like almost 500 alien rounds. As you can see, I've been using it a little bit. But you can upgrade this to use fusion cells, which fusion cells are definitely much easier to find. It is not that heavy. It's actually a little lighter than I believe the Deliver. That was like 6.9 pounds. This is 3.2. It has a long barrel, sharpshooter's grip, standard magazine, and standard sights. Which this does 104 damage, and of course that legendary effect, which that's very, very useful. This is the Incendiary Advanced Combat Shotgun. Sets targets on fire for 15% more points more of damage. Excuse me. I used to use Le Fusil Terribles, which is that one shotgun where it's one of the most powerful shotguns I have in my collection, but it has more recoil. I was not into the recoil, so I decided to go for another shotgun that I found that has less recoil, and it just also looks just as good. It's 18.3 pounds, so it is a tiny bit heavy, but I mean that's probably as much as the shotgun usually is. I think double barrels are a little lighter. It depends on how much you mod them. And of course I do have a few mods on this one. So I have the advanced receiver, long ported and shielded barrel, recoil compensating stock, medium quick eject mag, front sight ring, and then that's pretty much it. No muzzle or anything. And of course the shotgun there, those rounds are very easy to find. I love that they added the when it came to Far Harbor, they had this as a weapon, the lever action rifles. This is the Kneecapper advanced lever action rifle. This is also just a random, a bunch of these have just random. The Deliver, if you know how to get that, that's, I mean, I'm sure everyone knows to get that by now, but a lot of these are very random. Like this one's just random. You're gonna have to find it on your own, which is kind of hard to do, but I love its legendary effect. It does 20% more, 20% chance of crippling the target's leg, which if you just continue firing, that's your chances are much better. Now the ammo is a little hard to find. As you can see, I've been using this quite a lot, and I only have like 15 rounds for it left. It has it's .45 by 70, which really you can only buy at Far Harbor, and also everywhere else that has a marketplace in Far Harbor, which it's also kind of expensive. It is a little heavy, 14.7 pounds. That's not too bad. But I have advanced receiver, long ported barrel, marksman stock, reflex sight with the dot, and no muzzle. So when I found this, it had a silencer on it. I wasn't digging the silencer. The plasma infused advanced assault rifle, which I also found this just by random occurrence. I had a regular version of this that I used a lot. The great thing about this is a semi-auto weapon, but when you're aiming down the sights and you're just like firing and just continuously firing at your target, it does a lot of damage. But since I found one with a plasma infused, it's plasma infused, I thought this would be a little bit better. It adds a little bit more damage, as you can see. I have tons of ammo for this, and this one's kind of heavy as well. It's 23.6 pounds, and it has the advanced receiver, vented barrel, recoil compensating stock, quick eject mag, reflex sight, and no muzzle. I also have been talking about accuracy lately. I'm not the most accurate. I'm not the biggest sniper. This one is very good, though, if you are trying to hit targets from a farther distance. It has really good range, and the accuracy could be a little better, but the range is really probably what you're focused on. And this one also has pretty similar range to that weapon, the plasma-infused rifle. Reba 2 is probably one of the best rifles in the game. This is it is found. Let me go to the map. When you travel up, it's towards the north of around here, Rook Family House. You do a side mission where I don't know who you do it for, but he got two rifles. That is Reba and Reba 2. And he gives you Reba 2, and you could kill him, which doesn't have any negative repercussions on the game at all. You could kill him and take Reba, but Reba 2 is more, I don't know where it is, but Reba 2 is more powerful than Reba 1, so that's why I only went with Reba 2. It does 50% more damage against Mirelurks and bugs, so it's because that whole mission was you were just fighting Mirelurks, but it's also very useful against, humans and stuff. Pretty good damage. 102, I believe, yeah. And it's a little heavy, 18.9, not too bad. Pretty good accuracy and pretty good range. It does have a pretty slow fire rate. This is a bolt action rifle, so that's one thing to take into consideration. As a .50, it's basically 50 caliber receiver. You have long ported barrel, marksman stock, large quick eject mag, and long scope and suppressor. This is basically how the rifle came. So really, this is not a modded weapon. That's just how it is. Which is pretty good. And you can't really, mod the power of the rifle to go any higher, unless you have perks on. Now this one's not a legendary weapon, but I also use this because it is. Yes, I do have two rifles, but this one uses .308 rounds. This is it does pretty good damage too, 91 damage. This is the recoil compensated 308 combat sniper rifle. Now this one is much easier if you're wanting to use this one because it's literally just a regular sniper rifle, and you can, if you have enough perks on, which I don't know which perks it requires, but but if you have enough perks for the workshops or the crafting tables and all that, it's going to be pretty easy to do. It has a .308 receiver, which that's the most powerful receiver you can have for this rifle. Long ported barrel, recoil compensated stock, large quick eject mag, long scope, and no muzzle. It's about 20 pounds, so it is a little heavier than a Reba 2, but if you want two rifles, one that uses the 50 cal, like I said, Reba 2 does, and then one that uses different rounds, like this one, you can. This one's also not a legendary weapon, but this is the recoil compensated overcharged plasma rifle, which this one's very, you just find a plasma pistol and you can upgrade it, and you also have to have the science perks on, but I'm sure you guys can figure that out. It does 96 damage and 96 energy damage. Overcharged capacitor, improved sniper barrel, so it doesn't fire as quickly as some people would like it to, but it's more of a sniper weapon, which I would take that over the power of the sniper over really anything else. Recoil compensating stock and reflex sights. It is not heavy, 7.3 pounds. So this is definitely, if you're thinking more light, this is definitely something you could go for. It has really good range and really good accuracy. So that's probably one of the more useful weapons to use. The sharpshooters, this is also not a legendary weapon. The sharpshooters advanced western revolver. Now you have to have this revolver if you are, the only way you can get this revolver, if you have Nuka World DLC. It's actually a lot more powerful than the regular revolver. A bull barrel revolver it has 100 damage. By itself, this has about 136 damage, I believe. So that's crazy. And that's not even counting the mods I have on it. The advanced receiver, which is the highest receiver you can have for it. Long barrel, sharpshooter's grip, which just adds the accuracy and standard sights. It does have a fire rate of 7, so it is it's a slow weapon. It's a revolver. What can you expect? But, and I believe it is, um, like single action, so you have to keep cocking it. Not a, actually, let me try that out. Yeah, so, actually, I think all of the revolvers are lever or single action, so it's not like you can keep firing. But anyway, it's got really good damage. Like, look at that, 210. The rounds are easy to find. You know, the ammo for it. It has pretty good accuracy. Actually, the range is better, but the accuracy is okay. It's not that heavy, so it's really good. And if you're going for like a cowboy western build, then this and a lever action rifle would be really good. Spray and pray has saved my life more than I can count. It's not that powerful by itself. As you can see, it says 37 damage. However, as you can see, it says bullets explode on impact, doing 15 points area effect damage, which means that this basically shoots small grenades, like very small grenades, but it's still very helpful against larger enemies like super mutants, also Mirlarks and stuff like that. Now, there is some disadvantage to this. You can definitely hurt yourself when you're firing this weapon, and I will go ahead and show you guys how to do that. There, my health is going down, and you can also accidentally hurt your companions when you're fighting. So if Dogmeat here was fighting like a ghoul, and I wanted to shoot this at the ghoul, Dogmeat would be getting hurt in the way, which is not the best. So that is a big flaw to having this rifle. However, if you're traveling by yourself, maybe not that bad. Also, if you don't really care about your companion, I mean, there's that. But I mean, as you can see, it has what is it? That's, like I said, 37 damage. But of course, it, like I said, fires the smaller grenades. Like I said, it's just very, very helpful. You can get this by Cricket. You would have to find her throughout the Commonwealth. She's in different areas. You can find her at Diamond City outside, or you can find her at Bunker Hill. I found her at Bunker Hill and got this weapon. Now, it is pretty expensive, but it's worth it in the end. It has the powerful receiver, which I think that's how it came. Short, light barrel, and then it has recoil compensated stock, large quick eject drum, reflex sight, and compensator. Now, if you have all the commando perks all the way, committed to, like here, if I don't have it yet, but it does. You should see there it says automatic weapons do 20% more damage. I mean, when you have all those filled in, like, it's going to be ridiculous how much damage this thing is going to do. We're almost done here, so let's talk about this. This is Throat Slicer, which you can get this at Nuka World. You only get it because it was added for Nuka World DLC, and man, I do not remember her name, but one of the traders there, she's not like the traditional trader, like who has the collars around their necks. She has this weapon, and you can buy it from her, and it's really not, she's not hard to find. She's there quite often. This is the Throat Slicer. Targets bleed for 25 points of additional damage. This is probably one of the best melee weapons you could have, even though it's not super long. It does, there's great things about it. One, it has really great damage. Two, it's fast. And three, it's not very heavy. It's only like 2 pounds. And as you can see, like I said, it's much faster. Let me just show you exactly how fast. So you can get faster attacks out with more power, which is great. It has the serrated hacking blade, so I think that's what does the most damage for it. And it is a little expensive, but that's really, I mean, if you have tons of caps like I do, then that's not that big of a deal. The Wazer Rifle. This is how you get the Wazer Rifle. So, first of all, if you did the ending where you took out the Institute, but brought young Sean here.
Scary out here
sometimes.
Sean. People just never give up.
If you brought him with you,
they're always trying to
this
make
is really the only way you can do it. Because when you ask, when you go talk to Sean, he will ask you to get him stuff like junk and stuff, like a microphone, like a microscope or a telephone, all that, and he'll make mods for you. That's how, I think I said it earlier. That's how I have a ton of mods on my guns, because he has made a bunch of different mods for me. Um, if you eventually give him enough stuff, I think like 3 times you do stuff for him, he'll give you this, which it has unlimited ammo capacity. Now, don't confuse that
There are
like I
so many
did
neat
with
things to mess
it
around with out
has.
there.
You don't have to worry about fusion cells ever again. What it means is you don't have to worry about reloading. It's literally going to just shoot off. If you wanted to right now, you can shoot all of your fusion cells without reloading a single piece. So let's talk. As you can see there, I have what is it? 4,276 fusion cells. Let's go ahead and fire a few, and then as you can see now it's less. So it just really it's about not reloading, but it still uses all of your ammo. That being said, it's very helpful for if you're, being attacked by anyone, you don't have time to reload. This is very helpful. Also, the great thing about this, it has, if you use the overcharge capacitor, it has 115 damage. And yes, it does have energy damage on there too, but that's the overall damage of it. Um, Now it has improved sniper barrel, which I think also helps with damage. You could, if you wanted to, it's for the muzzle, use a scatter effect, which will add like 20 more damage. But I am not a fan of the scatter effect. I would like, I want to be farther away when I'm hitting my target, not like super close. A scatter effect is really basically a shotgun. So that's really not for me. But that's just a little small price to pay for, better range for my weapon. Now, it doesn't have the best accuracy, but the fire rate's pretty good. It doesn't weigh a lot. It's only almost 7 pounds, which is actually very helpful. Energy weapons are great because they really don't weigh that much. It's you can't really buy it anywhere. Like I said, you have to get it from Sean when you eventually give him enough stuff. But as you can see, overcharge capacitor, improved sniper barrel, recoil compensating stocks, standard sights, and no muzzle. What is the last thing here? This is the wounding shielded gauze rifle. Targets bleed for 25 points of additional damage. I have the shielded barrel, recoil compensating stock, capacitor boosting coil, gauze reflex sight, and no muzzle, because if you had a silencer on this thing, that's just ridiculous. This is probably my most powerful weapon right now, and this is great for, man, I think this is also just a random weapon you find on like a Mirelurk or a Raider. It's very helpful because if you don't want to be carrying around a giant, fat man, or like the Gatling guns, the laser Gatling, the minigun, and all that. This is helpful because one, yeah, it's a little heavy. It's actually not as heavy as you think, actually. 19, almost 20 pounds. So that's pretty standard size because some of the rifles that we have, like some of the sniper rifles, are almost 20 pounds. The fire rate's actually not bad. The best way, really, the only way you can fire this weapon is actually let's go ahead and start firing. So, as you can see, you hold the trigger, and then you release. You can fire if you want. There's a delay when you're... There's a tiny delay. Like right now, I'm firing, like I'm about to hit the trigger button on, like, no, R2. I'm on PS4, so I'm using R2. So I'm firing. It's, a little bit delayed of a fire, or excuse me, a release, but it really doesn't matter too much. Like, I use this against Queen Mirelurks all the time. By all the time, I mean the 4 to 5 times I've seen a Queen Mirelurk, and it gets the job done pretty well. As you can see, the accuracy is not the best. It's not supposed to be super accurate. It's supposed to do a lot more damage. The range is not bad, actually. It does just as much range as a rifle does. This Wazer rifle only does a little bit more. So it's very useful to use, and it uses 2mm electrical or EC rounds. I don't know what that stands for. I'm sorry, but I have a pretty good amount of those rounds. But this is if you have a regular gauze rifle, I'm sure it will do the same thing. It's just the legendary effect helps with the damage. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all the weapons I personally use. I haven't used this for this baseball bat yet, but these are the weapons I prefer pretty much throughout using in Fallout 4. And I'm sorry, I will leave guides in the description below of how you get some of these weapons, but some of these weapons are definitely in random encounters. Like this one here, pretty much almost half of the weapons, I'd say almost half of these weapons I found are random encounters. So, that might be a little, maybe not. Yeah, this one's random and all that. So, that is a little tricky, but, I mean, the regular weapons of these probably would help as well. So, maybe they don't do as much damage because they don't have the action points, but if you had, like, that assault rifle, like I said, the one I have, the plasma infused one, but if you just have a random, like, fully upgraded assault rifle, it will get the job done. So that's pretty much it for my list of weapons that I personally use in Fallout 4. There are tons and tons and tons of different types of weapons. There are some that are pretty much repeated. They just have the legendary effects on them. A lot of them are pretty unique, although I have found the same legendary missile launcher like twice. I don't remember exactly which one it is, but that's just kind of weird, but it's really not that bad. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the channel, if you want to see more different types of Fallout 4 content and other kinds of video game content, please let us know. And if not, then I guess we'll just kill ourselves. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and all that other stuff. We'll see you guys later.